Lately, I don't know about you, but holy cow, it just feels like everyone is a little frayed at the edges, a little overwhelmed. Maybe you feel lonely in ways that you're not talking about, and you're wondering, why is everything just kind of harder than it should feel right now? But there's some good news. The fix, it's not some massive overhaul. See, there are these small, powerful habits that are going to make your life feel better. And I know this because these are the same tiny habits that I use in my life to help me feel better. And I also love the fact that they're backed by research. And today, I'm sharing them with you. Let's start with this tiny habit number 1, which I call, hey, it's your friend Mel, and welcome to the Mel Robbins Podcast. I am so excited that you're here with me right now. And it's always such an honor to spend time together and to be with you. And I love what you and I are going to talk about today. Because if you feel like I do right now, well, then you're probably really tired. And I'm not just saying physically tired. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but doesn't it just seem like everything starts to pile up over and over? And so you and I are going to talk about not adding more to your plate because you don't need that. We're going to talk about the tiniest little fixes that make a big difference when you feel like you and I do right now, when you feel tired. You're going to love this conversation. And if you're a new listener, I also want to take a moment and personally welcome you to the Mel Robbins Podcast family. I'm so glad that you're here with me right now. And if somebody shared this with you, I want to point out something. That means that you have somebody in your life that cares about you and they want you to feel a little bit better. They know you're working really hard. They know life is overwhelming. And they know that this episode, because they listened to it in particular, is going to make a big difference. And because you took the time to listen to this, I know you're the kind of person who values showing up for yourself and the people you love, even when you're tired. So welcome. So let me just start by confessing something to you. I missed a really good friend of mine's birthday last week. And here's the thing. I had the card. I had a stamp on it, for crying out loud. I had it sitting on my desk. I thought about her all day. Did I mail it? No. Did I call? No. Well, I meant to call. You know how you mean to call? You're like, okay, well, when I get in the car. Okay, when I have a little bit more time. Did I text? No. No. And then when the day passed, you know what I felt? I felt like, oh my gosh, is it really Loserville if I take a photo of the card that I forgot to mail yesterday and text it to her a day late? And the worst part of this is that this is not a one-time thing for me. I have been missing people's birthdays lately. I have been forgetting to buy presents for people. And the sad thing is, I don't miss these special dates because I don't care. It's the opposite. I care deeply. But like you, I'm tired. I'm distracted. I'm overloaded. And maybe you can relate to that. I mean, yeah, the world that you and I are living in right now, it's fast, it's noisy, it's impersonal. You're constantly getting bombarded with all kinds of stuff from every single angle. And it makes it kind of hard to be the kind of friend or sister or brother or partner or neighbor, or frankly, a human being that you truly want to be. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I want to remember people's birthday. I hate it when I forget these kinds of things. I hate it when I let myself down because I go halfway there, but I don't make it all the way there. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you today, because I don't think the answer is caring more. You already care a lot, right? The problem is you're overloaded. So you care, but it's not translating in terms of your ability to demonstrate that you care. So what is the fix? Well, good news. It's not a massive life overhaul because you and I don't have time for that. The fix for a moment in life where you're tired, it's just the smallest intentional habits. I'm saying tiny fixes for a tired life that are going to help you and me feel connected, more present, and more like yourself again. Now, these are habits that I've been practicing for a long time, and they're making a real difference. But here's the thing. Even I need to be reminded that these habits are important. Even I, who know these habits, and I'm telling you from the start, the 7 things I'm going to share with you today have made a huge difference for me. When I get tired and overwhelmed, I need to be reminded of them. Not because they're dramatic, but the opposite, because they're doable. That's why you're going to love them. You just needed to be reminded to do them. So today, Let's talk about 7 simple things, research back, real life tested. And I promise, even just one of them could shift something in your day, in your relationships, or give you a sense that you feel like yourself again. So let's get into it. Let's start with this tiny habit number 1, which I call replay the good stuff. This one's actually a new one for me, and it takes just seconds to do. It is so simple, and here is how you do it. Normally, I'm telling you, don't look at your phone, don't spend so much time on your phone, but if you ever feel tired and overwhelmed, tiny habit number 1, replay the good stuff. You're simply going to pick up your phone, you're going to open up your camera roll, which I'm doing, and just scroll and go back in the past. Why am I asking you to do this? Because when you open up your phone and you see some of your favorite memories and some of your favorite people, something incredible happens. Even when you're feeling tired and overwhelmed, it lifts your spirits. And there's also a ton of research about why this works. There was a study done by researchers at UCLA that found that viewing photographs of loved ones activates a sense of social support inside of you, which helps you feel less stressed. So you may be listening to me right now as you're driving into work or home from work or sitting on the train or taking a walk and you're feeling stressed. If you just look at photos of people that you care about or you go back to past memories, it's going to lift you up and remind you you're not alone. This isn't the only moment in your life. Tiny little thing that makes a big difference, right? And here's another report that I found. This was conducted by leading behavioral psychologist Joe Hemmings in the UK. They found that looking at your older photos is almost as relaxing as taking a bath. And when you're at work, you can't exactly take a bath, but you can look at some old photos. See, researchers found that looking at photos can inspire nostalgia, happiness, and inspiration as well. It also lowers your stress hormones and it pumps up your endorphins. It reminds you that your life isn't just this moment. Your life is full of great memories and good moments, even if your brain forgot about them because you got so much going on right now. In fact, I want to double down on this because I want you to hear from world-renowned Dr. Ethan Kross. He is a psychologist and professor at the University of Michigan. He runs the Emotion and Self-Control Lab there. Dr. Kross is an expert in how to stop negative self-talk, and he shared with me why looking at photos can be so helpful. So take a listen and hear what Dr. Kross had to say when he appeared on the Mel Robbins podcast.
There's also ways of putting things in your environment to trigger positive experiences like pictures of loved ones, which, sounds so silly on the one hand, but we did this research years ago where we had people think about really painful experiences. And we had them then look at a picture of a loved one or a picture of someone else's loved one to see what are the implications of looking at your what we call attachment figure, someone you're really connected to. And what we found is that looking at that person that you care about, this activates a sense that there are people in this world that support you, which sped up how quickly people recovered from a distressing experience. So after that research, I went on a shopping spree for have pictures of my family and friends all around it.
I love what he said. I want to read one of the things that he said. Looking at a person that you care about activates a sense that there are people in this world that support you, which speeds up how quickly you recover from a distressing experience. I mean, it's true, isn't it? And we know this. I mean, because you have photos of people you care about at work to get you through your stressful day and remind you that there's more to life than work, right? But don't you love the reminder? I love the reminder too. And so let's do it together. And where I like to go as a shortcut is I like to go to albums, whether it's shared albums or albums. And oh my gosh, here is one that is called Kirby's Wedding. This is my cousin. I text with Kirby back and forth, but I haven't have I not laid eyes on Kirby since her wedding? Oh my God, now I'm making myself wrong. Stop, Mel. Stop. That's not the point of our conversation today. I'm now scrolling through photos from Kirby's wedding. Oh, can you tell there's a smile on my face? Oh my gosh, there's my Uncle Warren. And he passed away a year ago, and now I'm seeing his smiling face, which makes me miss him. Here is my cousin Kirby and my Uncle Duke, and she's being pulled in by a team of Clydesdale horses on this old wagon. I am smiling ear to ear. Tiniest of habits to help you get a little energy boost and feel better right now. Stop checking out the news. Stop looking at the headlines. Use your phone for good. Open the camera, go right to the photo roll, and just stare at it for 30 seconds. When you look back, you remember the moments that made you feel something. Those pictures are more than photos. They are anchors to your life. They remind you of who you are, who you love, and the fact that even on the days you forget, you are building and living a beautiful life. So, replay the good stuff. And that brings me to tiny little habit number 2, turn your kitchen into club night. I actually love this tiny habit, and it's something that I've done for years. So let me just back up a little bit and kind of unpack how you do this and why this is important. Like you, my to-do list, which I understand we now need to call a wish list. I can't remember who told us to do that, but your to-do list is probably as long as the runner that you have on the floor of your kitchen. And whenever you got a to-do list that you're just running through and it feels impossible, then you roll right from your day and right from work and right from the commute and right from all the Zoom calls into doing the next thing, which is cooking dinner and cleaning up the kitchen and feeding the dogs and making the grocery list. And the whole time that you're doing that, you're answering texts in one hand with your phone, then you're flipping the chicken with the other hand. You're not even present, right? Like you're just getting through it. Do you ever feel like that? Well, here's one amazingly simple and fun little fix that you can get into whenever you're in the kitchen. I don't care if you're doing dishes, you're making breakfast, you're throwing a lunch together, or you're cooking dinner for the entire soccer team that's piling into your house because it's your night to host the pre-dinner before game night. Here's the fix. Turn on the energetic music. Turn that kitchen into a club. Anytime dishes are coming out, you know we're dancing, and here's why. There's something about flipping on music that creates an instant mood boost. It also snaps you into the present moment. I mean, just think about that. If you've got music going in the kitchen, you're typically not focused on work, are you? The moment your favorite song comes on, boom, something shifts. Your mood lifts. You're like moonwalking through dinner. In fact, this new tiny little mood that you got because the music, I love Motown in a kitchen. I'll tell you why. Because everybody, if you're playing disco or Motown, you got grandparents, you got siblings, you got kids, all age groups just start bobbing and weaving. You know, the top songs that they play at a wedding that gets everybody dancing, that's your kitchen club music right there. Because what happens is that when that kind of music hits, tiny fix, your nervous system reacts to the rhythm of the music. You don't even have to do anything. Isn't that amazing? And don't you need that? Don't you need that little fix, that little lift? Doesn't it feel good to just for a second switch off that panicked to-do list, I didn't get it all, overthinking brain? Of course it feels fantastic to do that. See, the music does it for you, even when you're just playing it in the background while you're wiping down the counters. So, tiny fix. Turn on the music whenever you feel tired. Whenever you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, meal prep, dishes, unloading the dishwasher, feeding the dogs, cleaning off the counters, taking everybody's stuff that they put all over the counters and putting it into the little piles that you're then going to put on the stairs, doing the laundry. Put on music. It fixes your mood. There was this landmark study done that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Check this out. Followed hundreds of older adults over 21 years. I want to just highlight that. This is not a study that was done like one and done. They followed people for 21 years. And as part of that study, they were measuring physical activity, and they tested like 11 different types of physical activity, from cycling to swimming to golf and tennis, to try to understand what had the best health benefits and what had the greatest impact on reducing the risk of dementia. Guess what physical activity had the greatest benefit in terms of reducing the risk of dementia? Dancing. In fact, dancing was the only physical activity out of all 11 that reduced the risk of dementia. What? Dancing helps me reduce the risk of dementia? This is why. Dancing requires a number of things: coordination, rhythm, memory, and sometimes social interactions, like when you're both kind of dancing and doing that shoulder pop thing at each other, all of which stimulates neuroplasticity and it keeps your brain sharp. And there's so many other studies that agree with this finding, that dancing boosts your executive function, your spatial reasoning, and your visual memory. Plus, here's the thing, if you're probably doing it after dinner, you're probably doing it sober, which is pretty awesome, which means you're also reducing stress, you're increasing serotonin, and it lights up your brain's reward centers. These are the same ones that are activated when you laugh, when you fall in love, when you eat chocolate, when you do all kinds of other awesome things. So no, this tiny fix of turning the kitchen into a nightclub, making sure that you're dancing whenever you're doing dishes. This isn't about just checking another box on your wellness routine. This is about flipping dinner duty into dance therapy. It's about singing over the simmering tomato sauce for the pasta. It's about making a moment count that would otherwise just be part of the blur of stirring the sauce and texting and writing a to-do list and just not even being present. The tiny fix is the music's on, and then your body starts moving, and now you're giving yourself both a break, you're pulling yourself into the present, you're lifting yourself up, your brain is healing and getting stronger, your mood is lifting, your nervous system is like, and all because you took your kitchen off the to-do list and you turned it into a dance club. I do this all the time, and I absolutely love this fix, and I love being reminded of it. In fact, I'm sitting here going, oh, there's some people coming over tonight. I think I'm going to make a really good playlist today, and I'm going to hit it, and they're not going to know what hit them. Boom, right when we're about to clean up, and everybody will help. I love this little fix. So let's move on to tiny fix number 3 for a tired world. First name basis. First name basis means everywhere you go, learn people's first names. Make an effort to do it. Because when you do it, you not only create a stronger social connection between you and other people, it makes you instantly more likable and more influential in your personal and professional life. I kid you not. The return on the investment of doing this, I can't even quantify or qualify how big of a deal this is, okay? And almost nobody does this. Nobody really thinks about this tiny little switch, and it's everything. Use people's first names. Become the kind of person, even when you're tired, even when you're overwhelmed, just a simple little fix. Take a beat. What did you say your name was again? That's it. And then say it. It is so simple. Stop telling yourself you're not good at remembering names. That's not true. So stop saying it's hard to remember people's names and say to yourself, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to start learning people's first names because I now understand the benefit, and I understand that it's going to make me feel more energized and supported even when I'm exhausted. Because when you say someone's name, as in you actually take a moment to speak it, and then you take a moment to remember it, here's what you're doing. You're sending a very clear message. You're saying, you matter. I see you. I value you. And it feels personal. It feels intentional. It makes you immediately seem warm, thoughtful, competent, a little bit sharper, more grounded and interested than everyone else in the room. This is one of my absolute secret weapons in life. And it's the tiniest things, the tiniest things. I feel connected to people wherever I go. Why? Because I know that if I just say, hey, I'm Mel, what's your name? People usually go, well, I know who you are. I'm like, well, I'm Mel. I still say my name. What's your name? Oh, hi, Sam. I say their name back immediately. And that's one of the mistakes people make. Simple fix. When somebody says, I'm Mike, I'm Sally, I'm Janaea, I'm Rebecca, just say, hi, Janaea. It's nice to meet you. And then here's another simple tweak. You ready? Ask a question with their name immediately. Right? So you repeat the name back. Oh, well, hello, Marcus. It's nice to meet you. So, Marcus, tell me a little bit about. And here's another thing that I want you to steal. This is genius. Okay. So, if there's a place that you go regularly, maybe it's a coffee shop, maybe it's a gym, maybe it is a grocery store, maybe there